Given the current situation, it is highly probable that the price of XRP will surprise everyone very soon. There are a lot of crazy things going on, so we're going to delve into that in today's video. Bitcoin has skyrocketed to all-time highs. Numerous altcoins recently ran. Naturally, XRP experienced a great deal of favorable price activity as a result of the news, and the most recent US-China tariff news also contributed trillions of dollars to the stock market. There are a lot of exciting developments in the markets. Additionally, a few events are taking place that have increased market instability. In any case, the video for today will cover everything. And I would like to begin with this, don't you think? For a period of 90 days, the United States has reduced its tariffs on Chinese imports from 145% to 30%. Additionally, for a period of 90 days, China has reduced its duties on the US from 125% to 10%. Of course, many people had been anticipating this news, and on Sunday we were given a little preview that a deal had been reached. Today, the transaction was officially revealed. This is really amazing. Because these tariffs were so enormous, the shift from 145% to 30% is significant and will relieve a lot of pressure on Chinese and American businesses looking to expand into new markets and new tactics. Keeping that in mind, this is going to be a truly fantastic experience for the cryptocurrency and stock markets, and some of the consequences of this have already been observed. It is really bullish. People did not anticipate finding a bargain so quickly. Yet, here we are. On Saturday, they got together. On Saturday and Sunday, they spoke. They made the announcement today after finding a deal practically on Sunday. Additionally, more mergers will be revealed, which will have a significant impact on the markets as well. I believe that you guys should be aware of this. Naturally, the US stock market saw a $2 trillion increase at open as a result of this news. Suddenly, Wall Street was eager to profit from this news. And before the general public could even trade, they were going crazy during aftermarket hours. We're purchasing, and purchasing. Additionally, we can observe that the cryptocurrency markets reacted to this quite instantly. The cryptocurrency market stated, "Okay, well, I guess we're going to be taking off too," following the US stock market's massive gains. And that's why XRP appeared. It was fascinating to note that Bitcoin and many other altcoins actually experience far greater positive price momentum than Bitcoin. Additionally, President Trump has threatened to increase tariffs if nations fail to comply with his new drug policy. Listen, we're not done yet, and Basant essentially said some intriguing things that we will discuss in the near future, particularly with regard to tariffs. All of the largest trading partners, and yes, there will undoubtedly be some ups and downs like this. For example, Bitcoin is exceeding $200,000, while XRP is heading right to $20. No, that is definitely not going to be the case here. As if there would be a great deal of instability, perhaps even more than there was before. And based on the information we're now receiving in the markets, I want to make sure that you guys are at least aware of the triggers that may cause this volatility. Naturally, inter-geopolitical conflicts, such as those involving Russia, Ukraine, India, and Pakistan, will be a minor factor, while tariffs will be the main driver. The performance of the firm will then be another motivating factor. For example, how will the second quarter of Nvidia, Tesla, and these other firms go? That will be a major factor in how all of these digital assets function here as well, because it demonstrates the health of the economy, including its growth and contraction, among other crucial aspects. Having said that, I would want to draw your attention to the fact that I now have a trade active on XRP that is up 43%, and I recently closed a trade on XRP that was up over 50%. All of this information is freely accessible to all of you in my Crypto Crusaders trading group. Therefore, I want to make sure that you can access all of that if you want to see my trades, when I open, and my own opinions on the market. Simply click the link below to sign up for my Crypto Crusaders. Follow our 3-step method, and you may do it for free. In addition to our fantastic promotions, this channel is sponsored by my 2 partner exchanges, BTCC and BitX. They're giving you guys a 10% deposit bonus and fantastic trading charge reductions, so if you deposit $100,000 in XRP from Coinbase, you'll receive $10,000 in bonuses that will be applied to your trading expenses. That's crazy because it pays for your trading expenses for a long time. Of course, if you can continuously follow and replicate my actions and earn a comparable amount of money, guess what? The $100,000 you invested in the market will yield far more than that. Yes, register as the first step. Deposit is the second step. Step 3. After creating your account, simply enter your email address and exchange user ID to gain access to both Telegram and Discord. It is entirely up to you whatever platform you prefer. Note that I do not offer financial advice in anything I say. I'm only expressing my own opinions about the markets. All of this is purely for pleasure and educational reasons. Having stated that, however, yes, the European Union is now being targeted by President Trump. I don't think we're quite out of the woods yet because of this. We received some wonderful news from China. Do not misunderstand me. We should celebrate, but let's not lose sight of reality. According to President Trump, we have only just begun working with the European Union, which is worse than China. Making reference to the reality that, yes, Trump is likely to have a conflict with the European Union that is comparable to what he has had with China in recent months. We have witnessed the potential of this. And the EU is a huge organization. We are all aware that the European Union's GDP is in the trillions, which is extremely comparable to China's. So, yes, there will be a lot of back and forth with this as well. The European Union will act in their best interests. Trump will act in the best interest of the United States, you know. They will fight each other to death. Furthermore, it is hoped that they will ultimately find a solution. However, pay attention. We have witnessed the effects of the trade battles with China on Bitcoin, XRP, and the rest of the cryptocurrency market. With the European Union, I don't think things will be all that different this time around either. And the thing that we really need to keep in mind here is that some cryptocurrencies, like XRP for instance, may be affected much more during these times because they are much more closely linked to North American and European relations than to North American and Chinese relations. There is no doubt that we must be prepared for this scenario. That could therefore indicate some pretty significant red days that are comparable to what we might have saw a few months ago at the start of April or early March. If you have been following my films, you are aware that it was somewhat wild at the time. Retracing all of our losses in a single day after subtracting 30% from the mean. Quite insane. U.S. Treasury Secretary Besant has made some intriguing remarks as well, stating that the U.S. can always return to the tariff levels on China that were set in April 2. It is unrealistic, according to Besant, for tariffs on China to drop below 10%. Additionally, he states that the tariff levels as of April 2nd are the ceiling and the present levels are the floor. This basically indicates that the United States has the right to raise tariffs by more than 100% at any time if it disapproves of something that Chinese officials are doing. This is essentially what the song is trying to communicate. Therefore, simply because an agreement with China has been reached at this time, they can still go back on it though. Tariffs are not fixed and will remain the same regardless of any deal. That is not what this is. All they're saying is for 90 days.